Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Jason Nunez, and let's queer up trans rights. Federal judge blocks Trump's trans ban, siding with schools in 16 states. A federal judge in Oregon has handed transgender students and inclusive schools a major legal victory. U.S. District Judge Ann Aiken announced that she intends to issue a preliminary injunction blocking the Trump administration's attempt to strip federal funding from schools that teach about gender identity or include transgender students in their policies. Judge Aiken denounced the administration's directive as a sort of separate but equal policy on sex education. The coalition of 16 states argued that the order of labeling transgender people false violated the Administrative Procedure Act and the Constitution's separation of powers. Over recent months, the Trump administration has threatened to withhold tens of millions of dollars from school districts that refuse to comply with its ban on so-called social transition. Districts from Virginia to New York refused. Denver's superintendent even declared that the district, quote, will protect all of their students from this hostile administration, end quote. The states behind the lawsuit include California, Maine, Massachusetts, and Oregon, among others. Their collective stand represents a broader pushback against federal efforts to penalize inclusion. For now, the ruling halts the administration's latest attempt to weaponize education funding against transgender students, affirming that equality in the classroom is not up for negotiation. This is, we'll take every win we can get nowadays.
Yeah, damn sure.
But recognizing, I applaud Denver. I applaud the states that are standing up because I just recently had a chamber member who has a transgender child and literally had to flee. They flee a different state because their medication was banned and they were getting literally harassed at school by school officials. Like, not just the students, school officials. It's absolutely insane. So I'm glad to see that it's a victory in some states and hopefully it picks up nationwide.
Like, how dare you labeling somebody a human being?
False.
Like, take that in. That is like subhuman. Like, how, it's disgusting, listen, I'll take the win, right? Just like Jason says, right? Because honestly, it's a win for common sense, for compassion, and for the freaking Constitution. How about that, right? So this judge just told the Trump team, you can't bully trans kids out of the classroom. Inclusion isn't political. It's freaking humanity. And to the schools standing strong, bravo, baby, bravo. You're teaching courage in real time. And the grade is A++.
Yes.
It is. And of course, I'm going to take the other side. This is not every time they get a win, it goes to the Supreme Court, and then they settle in on Trump anyway and what he's done. And so, although it's a current win, I still am like it. But then, so we take that win, and then we turn around. Next thing you know, he's at the Supreme Court with an emergency, and they act like in his favor, and then the funding doesn't happen. And he's cutting out funding without asking for permission.
Yeah,
so just because
it's all illegal, doesn't make a difference though. But nobody's stopping. Nobody's stopping him.
Funding.
Nobody's stopping him.
No.
Well, and he keeps on saying this, he keeps on calling it the Democratic shutdown, right? When it really is a Republican shutdown through and through. And so his way of holding us all hostage is basically saying that he's going to take the money from Democratic organizations, not any Republican, offices or anything like that.
And I think a lot of Democratic states or these, like in the school areas, they're basically saying F you to Trump and his administration. And my hope is that they're finding local people in the community that will go ahead and give them the subsidies or the money that they need to continue this without the federal help. Because that would be the best thing that could happen, is that they don't need his money.
Yeah.
They don't need the federal government's money at this time. Yes, they could do more with it, but if they can just get enough private funding, then maybe we can keep these initiatives in Denver and other places in place.
It's also like a call to action to our small businesses, individuals, philanthropic organizations. It's time for us to grassroots it. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like, help each other out
and we all know
our
it's
local
a tough
level.
time. Everyone is, their purse strings are tied. We don't have as much money. Everything costs more. So I think a lot of people want to help, but just don't necessarily have the resources. So you got to sort of rely not always on the smallest businesses, but anybody that can help, individuals.
Right. And volunteering time is helping.
Yes, it is.
Volunteering time is helping.
What is it?
Talent, treasure.
Time, talent, treasure. Time, talent, treasure.
Time, talent, treasure.
TTT. Okay, you have one of those to give. It's time to give it. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.